I have my commentary team of Giraffe and Purple Chest will be along soon. I don't know if any of them are currently here in chat. Doesn't look like they're here just yet. There's Giraffe. Excellent. So I'm going to need to brew up a cup of tea before we get into this thing. Oh, hang on. Oh, not here. Let's roll this level. Just out of curiosity for Olet. I mean, this team probably isn't playing another game, but let's give it a kick. This is my team. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm so excited you're here, Giraffe. I am going to go, hey, Justicium. So, Justicium, if you could hang on a tiny bit longer, I need to get Purple Chest and Giraffe in here to do the commentary stuff. And we'll probably do like a little chat about the game first. And I really, really want a tea. So if you can hang on while I go right now and put the kettle on, and then get Giraffe and Purple Chest in here, and then I will get out of here and do all that. So if we could stick to the 10 minutes time start time, that'd be perfect. Let me go put the kettle on right now. I won't take a second to do that, and I'll come right back. Hang on. Right, kettle is boiling. Giraffe, if you're here, let's get you into chat, and then I'll ping Purple Chest and see where he's up to. Let me get this graphic up and this graphic up. Hey, look at that. Stuff is happening. Is this... I need to get into the casting channel here. Let's ping Purple Chest. Okay. Purple Chest on their way. Giraffe on their way. Dizzy, how are you? Maybe one of these days I should let 3 of you cast together. I never know if like 3 is too many. Dizzy also caster extraordinaire of...
Hello.
Hey Giraffe, how are you?
Hear me?
I can
Is
hear
this
you.
working?
Guys, how is Giraffe's volume? Let me know if she needs loudening up or quieting down or any of that stuff. Looks like PC is here as well now. PC, are you here?
I am.
PC sounds quiet
Hello,
to
hello.
me.
Or at least hopefully I am.
You are. Hang on, let me put you off a tiny bit because you sound quiet to me. See if that...
Well, that's not acceptable.
not acceptable.
I refuse to be silenced.
You're being silenced.
Unless you kick me out of the channel, in which case, obviously, I will be.
Exactly. Can hear PC a little quiet now. Right, I'm going to put PC even further up. PC is going to maximum volume.
Boom.
And other than that...
well, hopefully that will be good enough.
Hopefully. I need to change the stream title quickly while we're doing this. CNA, Team England versus Team France. Wood Elves. Elves versus Justicium. Choffs.
It's happening.
Done. It is happening, you guys. I am
Here we go.
definitely not extremely nervous about this game. Hey, Hawk of the Battle, thank you so much for the good luck. Hogaroff, thank you for the follow. Thank you everyone who's saying good luck. I'm going to stop trying to read everyone's messages because that will get, I expect, very quick very soon, and that's going to be you guys' job. So to anyone who doesn't already know them, I'm certain most of you already know them, but I have with me two of the absolute greatest people and voices in Blood Bowl. I am absolutely not one for hyperbole. We've got Giraffe and Purple Chest in the booth with us. Giraffe, who is also a Blood Bowl 2 streamer, who has given me some big promises of stats and other excitement in this commentary.
I might have overpromised on this one, but I'll give it a try.
I've heard she's coming for Hellboy. She thinks that he's not up to it on the stats, and that she's going to be all over it.
Oh no!
Am I getting
Got
in
it all
trouble now?
wrong. I went to Hellboy with begging for help for how to properly do stats, and I still think I won't measure up to his abilities. But I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go.
And then Purple Chest, one of the great voices of Blood Bowl 2 commentary, I think.
Oh, thank you.
Trained
Well,
thespian, as well
I
as
make no promises and I tell few lies. I do no preparation. I just turn up and hope something inspires me in the moment. I would say my preparation is 20 years of playing Blood Bowl online. But
it's pretty good.
yeah, I mean, in terms of stats, I would say just click Goblin Spy and have a look at that team and or that coach. But it's not as easy when they haven't got the record like they have in Chalice, have they?
I've just bumped her off a little bit in response to some.
I mean, I know Justicium fairly well, so I will be able to bring some knowledge there. He is part of the rebel clan that I formed called Fumble United.
Oh my goodness! So
and he is the French representative of Fumble United.
I've had a few things have been said today, Purple Chest. First of all, I feel like I have to tell you, Purple Chest, that because someone's just made the comparison of if Giraffe is sorry.
Yeah, I'm now quite insulted.
that you may be.
I've caught up and read up, and I'm horrified.
And Volk maybe suggested that it was very hard to tell you earlier. Suggested it was very hard to tell you and Zunk and Dudorino apart, which is just I'm just repeating. I'm just trying to stir the pot here between you and Volk.
Okay, well, El Dudorino has a much more working class accent than mine, and despite being of a similar age to me, sounds about 30 years older. Zunk, you can always tell because he's either discussing curry or cats.
That's possibly true. We love Zunk, we love Dudorino, and we love PC.
But I suppose we are somewhat of a generation. And I think it's somewhat ageist to just lump us together and not see us as individuals.
It is. It's outrageous. Right, this is my team, which is on screen now. It's been on screen for a while, so let's have a quick look at the team we're up against. Justicium's team.
Yeah, these are horrible. He's built them terribly, but that doesn't mean he won't be extremely good with them, because unfortunately Justicium is very good at the Blood Bowl.
Yeah. So again, I keep repeating this because people said it to me. I've heard a rumour that Justicium is one of the top 10 coaches in the world.
Well, what does that mean? I mean, at what format, in what way, at what TV, doing what? He's certainly very good at NAF style, Resurrection style, but that tends to be at much smaller TV. Right. He has qualified for Chalice. He's done, very well in competitions on Fumble, but he's never won a major or a Chalice or anything like that. He's very good at Blood Bowl, yeah. I mean, I rate him, I like him, I enjoy his company, and I tease him constantly because he speaks just enough English to understand.
Excellent.
But not enough to keep up or compete.
I mean, he might be doing it right back to you in French, though.
He almost certainly is. I blame him for the fact that everybody French and a fair amount of the Spanish refer to me as Pepeche, but none of them tell me what it means. I've assumed it means old bloke that waffles a lot.
I think Justicium is spinning, so I'm going to hit that spin button. I have not finished making my tea. I just put the kettle on.
Enjoy yourself, Jerome. Have a lovely game.
I'm going to leave you and Giraffe for a few seconds while I make my tea, then I'll come back, and then I will disappear once we get the spin. But the spin is on. I hope someone has posted, hopefully Justicium has posted on the Discord to say no one else spin right now, because that would be awkward if we get the wrong game. But all right, I'll be back in 1 sec.
Good luck, Tree. All right. So now that Tree is Tree muted yet? No, I guess she's going to hear, so I'm not going to ask you all these devious strategy questions until we know that she's she's on the game. But
Well, similarly,
you
we know
didn't-
that Justicium is in the chat right now, so
that's also
you know,
very true.
obviously what he should try and do is pick the ball up and run a hobgoblin deep into the elves' half, whilst keeping the dwarves back in case anything goes wrong.
Yeah, you need to keep them protected. That's the
Yeah.
number one rule of Blood Bowl, from what I hear.
The dwarves need to stay protected, and the hobgoblin ball carrier could just run straight forwards.
So you've mentioned this, and you have mentioned this, and chat seems to have mentioned this, that you think this team is built entirely wrong. What's
Yes.
wrong with it?
Everything. However, unfortunately, it's built quite well for this particular matchup. No, not Tree's team. I think Tree's team was fine.
Sorry, no, I meant the.
It leans into what Tree does well, what Tree enjoys doing. She's an expert with the woodies, so yeah, it's great. I've got no problem with Tree's team.
We're just hating on the team up against. I think it
And
would
I
be...
also, I might not have the Tree. I'm increasingly tempted by K-Folk and his playing like water. But just because I like the idea that I can say I play like water because it's very trendy after the Hong Kong unrest against China. And I like to sound cool and hip and as if I understand what children are talking about. This is awful. What's awful about it? The block guard build is okay, but it's not very mobile. It's very tie-downable. You can throw something on it that you don't mind getting hit because it hasn't got mighty blow to pyre its way through, so you can tie it up for most of the half. The break tackle one doesn't have block but has sure hands. You shouldn't really be carrying on a bull all the time. And not having block means it's very attackable by elves. You can get 2 dice uphill against it. Wrestle is going to slaughter it. The Claw Mighty is fine. 2 more Mighty Blow is a little bit greedy, so 3 Mighty Blow is greedy, except against Wood Elves, where it's fantastic, of course.
I don't have any
And leaves him a tiny bit short on guard, which he's made up for with the Bull Guard. So, I mean, when I say it's terrible, there's sort of all right things with it. And then he's lent into the long bench that you can afford by having an extra Hobgoblin, but having Dirty Player on one of them, which is great, but you can foul with them without Dirty Player. Certainly I intend to on my squad. Oops, secrets.
I think 13 players is very, very nice for that fouling game. I mean, very horrible for me, but great for Chaos Dwarves, especially because I have no bench, which I was saying earlier, like my build, because I came into the tournament late, stepping in for Eliod, like I slightly was sort of presented with the roster that Elliot had made and said, is this all right? And I said, can I just change a couple of skills? And I wonder if I had had it myself from the start, if I would have done it a bit differently. I like a lot of it. And possibly this is exactly what I would have come up with. I think you would never get to have a bench anyway with Wood Elves. That's probably too ambitious. But
not unless you're going to live with just 1 reroll.
Yeah,
and possibly
exactly.
1 on a leader, but yeah, tricky.
So, but it's been interesting seeing some other builds in the tournament. I've seen some that went sort of 1 skill all the way down rather than stacking up on the catches. I do really like sidestep catches, so I might have done this anyway, but it's the thing that I never.
They're
really
hella good,
stopped to think
except
about.
against teams that are say strength 3 and tackle everywhere.
Yeah.
Where it's maybe not so good.
Right. We have matched, so I'm going to get out and leave you to it properly now. Thank you both so much for doing it, and I will see you on the other side.
Oh, pleasure.
Good luck, Tree.
Now, just because, as I said, when I was talking through some of the holes that in Justicium's team that I would have built differently, doesn't mean that, as I've always said, actually more important than what skills you pick is do you use them well? Do you know what you've got and can you marshal it and use it to the best of its advantage? As long as you're not picking utter tripe skills, of course.
Well, so in this matchup, it seems like Tree is an obvious. The Wood Elves are just an obvious underdog. So
yeah, they are.
Just because they are pretty much losing on everything from guard to strength to tackle, like to their main, to dodge.
Yeah, I mean there is some good stuff here. As I said, the main ball carrier doesn't have block. That's great. None of the hobgoblins have block. That's great. None of them have tackle. That's great. They do lack mobility because one of the bulls can't break tackle and the other one can break tackle but doesn't have block if it gets anywhere.
So is the strategy then just to be entirely opportunistic and find your moment and run away, or is there?
If I was Tree, I might even roll out the withdrawn offense here just to spend a few turns away from those dwarves. Try and get them to miss position as they come down the field, which would be tricky because Justicium is a fantastic coach. And then look to punch a hole through and take everything at once. Using my speed and agility to get there. So, try and lead into what I have got. And then if there's a hole, if there's a gap, try and turn them over, but settle for the 1-1 if needs be. I think if Tree gets a draw here, we will celebrate that long and hard as a team.
So that's you talking as a teammate and not necessarily as a
Tree
one-off
has
coach.
total
Yeah,
freedom to do whatever she wishes to do.
absolutely.
You know,
Right,
there are
but
no team orders in Team England. We all believe in each other, but we do talk about the matches, and we do understand as a team this is a trickier one.
I mean, I think this is a reasonable strategy, right? Because one win doesn't or loss doesn't necessarily do anything for you.
No.
So as a team, it is in a matchup like Torse versus Woody, it makes total sense to.
I mean, if I was looking to
go
win
for-
this,
or
I
draw
don't know
if you
who won
can,
the
yeah.
toss, but if I was looking to win this, I would be, yes, defending as Elves and then trying to one turn and then trying to, you know, take a long drive in the second half, or look to turn them over while I had all the Elves in the first half.
That's right.
So we'll see. I mean, if the opportunity arises, just because this team is very killy, it doesn't mean there aren't problems with it. As I said, there's a lack of mobility. The Dwarves can be out-positioned and out-maneuvered. But also the Elves could die like flies, and this could be over in 3 turns. Oh, Tree
Yeah, this
chose
was
to kick.
this was Tree's coin toss.
Mm.
And I think I talked to her a little bit earlier, right before the game, to see what her hopes were, and she was definitely hoping for a defense, seeing if she can manage to do get the turn 8 one turn and all of that. And so
Well
far
then,
starting
good
okay.
luck, Tree. I might have been a little more pessimistic and chosen to receive and just get 1-0 at the half and then see where we're at. But certainly this is a route to the win.
She was also mentioning that she's hoping similar ideas, that maybe she'll find herself in a position to run away, get a cheeky surf, because as we've seen from the last game, surfs are something that she's kind of excited about doing. So we'll see if
Yes.
she has any of those opportunities this time around.
I don't wish to be a killjoy. I am prepared to gamble quite heavily that easy surfs are not available.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean they won't happen. You can't necessarily always prevent it, but I'm not sure Jerome's going to be giving up a lot of surfs. He's really very good.
Yes,
I mean,
I think
everyone can have a bad day, and Tree's very good too, and certainly knows how to take her chances. She's got a really nice mix at the moment between a very offensive, aggressive style. She's naturally on the front foot, but with a note of caution in there. Now, when that works, it's fantastic. When it freezes you from that one crucial hit, then the caution is obviously a problem. But I still think we've got lots of win chances here. I am fully behind my teammate.
All right. Ooh, we have a raid. Andy Davo coming in with finishing up his stream with 194 people. Hello, everybody.
Thank you very much, Mr. Davo. You join us just as Misspelled Tree is taking on Justicium, the might of England against the finest of France, in a CNA, Cablevision National All-Stars clash of round 2.
Ooh, well, that's a start.
That is a start. I
Well,
don't think they're going to throw an Apo just to badly hurt. Yeah, let's it go. So we talked about the long bench of the Hobgoblins. Of course, that's now a little shorter.
Just one. I think there's still plenty of Hobgoblin chaff left. For anybody who is not familiar with what's going on and haven't been keeping up, this is a really large community event with roughly geographic teams, and Miss Peltry is now playing in her second matchup for Team England against Team France, against Justicium, who's also a fantastic player. So they are both playing teams they're both extremely comfortable in. So this is Trees Woodies versus Justicium's Dwarves. Roughly, more or less.
It's kind of hard to pin down exactly what it is and what we're doing, but trying to have some fun whilst playing Bud Bowl in teams is, I think, not a bad way of approaching it.
That's right.
So we're seeing Justicium here setting up that double line for where he plans to pick the ball up and bring it to, already looking at stopping the Elves breaking through into his backfield. Anyone that struggles to, defend a pickup and start a drive well against Elves, look at this. He hasn't prioritized a lot of hitting, though he's got his hitting done. But look at that screen between the pickup area and where the ball would be if that had failed. And how would you get an army of Elves through there? It would be very, very difficult.
So would you be careful here, or would you try to go balls to the wall and try to run around and pressure the Chorus a little bit? I keep talking about this from Tree's perspective, obviously, because
let's face it, we're on Tree's side. I mean, I want to be both a neutral commentator that will say if I do and don't like things, but at the same time, I can't pretend to be. I am not uninvolved here. I'm 100% subjective and behind the tree. I think she should do exactly what she's doing here, which is try and move pieces out of position, chip them, get them into dangerous positions. If that dwarf stands up there, then obviously there is the danger that the mighty blow, the frenzy juggernaut can surf it. So she's placed that Chorf into danger. Now she has to risk at least 2 elves to keep it there, because otherwise it's going to try and blitz its way out of that problem. Absolutely. So there they go. So she's trying to just create problems, make Justicium not be where he wants to be. Try and control the field on the other side to where the tree is, so that it really, if they're looking to create space, they're trying to push back into the area where the tree might get effective. All that good stuff to just try and split this this team up.
And what is the plan for the tree, do you think?
Kill a few dwarves with it before it roots. It's... I think you have to try and use it. If you're trying to get hold of these, then you need to stun dwarves and pin dwarves. I mean, it's brutal, because if it takes root, then suddenly it's of no use to you at all. There's still ways to make it vaguely relevant, but it's tricky. But defending here, she really does need to get on top of the dwarves, because 3 of them have mighty blow, a lot of guard, and whilst they're around this bull, it's going to be very hard to get hold of it. Of course, as I've said before, though, it is blockless. Red dice against it aren't an impossible option. It is the one key weakness that isn't also, weirdly, a fairly good counter to the elves. No, the claw piece obviously does very little, if anything, Dimmy. But Justicium has 3 mighty blow, which in some matchups would be seen as too many, really. Not enough active skills, because, once you get into this sort of devolved play, after the line of scrimmage hits, unless you're facing Khemri or Orcs or something, which are going to be up in your face the whole time, you're usually only going to get 1 blitz. But here, of course, a lot of that, particularly on defensive drive, a lot of that mighty blow can just be thrown in the elves' faces and make them either dodge off, tackle, or hit it back, and then obviously it's only 55% to pow it. Or, if there's an early turn fail, suddenly you've got 3 or 4 mighty blow hits against the elves, and half the team disappears.
And I guess Justicium is now moving towards the down Chorf to make sure it's not too separated from the team.
Yeah, he wants to get it back into play and yet not have it at risk from that frenzy piece. So I think we're probably going to see him try and blitz it up onto its feet. At the same time, he's trying to build a cage that's also putting threat onto elves, as I said, putting mighty blow in their face, putting tackle in their face, making them either take hits they don't want to, they don't want to be in a fight, really. Or dodge off enough that you try and pull the rerolls, create a fail early enough in the turn that it leaves you lots of hitting. So there we go, did work himself a 2-die with that nearly edged dwarf, and makes his safe space.
And there we go, it's completely back into play.
Yep, any kind of push there would have allowed Tree to get some assists in and push it and then surf it, so it did have to be a POW. But no damage done, only a stunt. Yes, the claw is surfable, and it looks like Tree is going to go for that. She needs to put the elves just right.
That was the plan.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Always when there's a nice surf on, you get the POW.
Yeah.
From there, of course, if it was a push, she pushes straight forwards and then diagonally up towards the elf behind the bull. And then you put somebody behind it on the sideline.
Yeah, I can see her being frustrated as we speak. Where's that POW? That was disappointing.
It's always the times you don't want POWs, you get them. Andy Davo in chat there, visibly upset at the lack of surf.
Naturally. But it seems that it's possible, Purple Chest.
No one would have been hurt more by that than him.
The surfs are possible, so they're still on the table, even with.
Look, I mean, with Juggernaut Frenzy, with the right positions, you can surf from 3-4 squares out if you've got people in the right places. The problem with doing it is that you leave several elves, surf backable. You put a lot of your team in to get that sort of effort done, but it can be worth it, particularly early in a drive, where chipping a number can really be, huge in terms of what everyone does after that for 4 or 5 turns.
I'd say in a game like this, if you do 1-for-1 trades, then the woodies are going to be up
Yeah.
on that.
Absolutely.
So Dwarves do need their players a little bit more than woodies, except the bench, of course. So
Okay, so we did
let's
take the
not
tree
forget
hit. We
Okay.
grabbed such a good skill on trees. Misspelled has almost convinced me. It does mean that, even when you're hitting a dwarf, if it's at a bad angle, you can choose where it goes. To try and get your maximum contact. That's such a cheeky foul, and it doesn't work.
That is
Wow.
painful.
Yeah, I know it was 4 assists, but we just don't have the bench, and we're going to get fouled back.
The 1-1.
I didn't. I mean, I know it was one of the Mighty Blow dwarves. It was also the claw one, though that's a bit less relevant. I'm not sure I loved that foul.
I was hoping for a high roll there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the send off pain was extra.
Yeah, I have a
terrible
feeling
here.
that was, I mean, I won't say tilt, but perhaps somewhat of an emotional reaction to the serve going wrong.
Oh, and to follow that up. Oh my goodness.
And straight after, of course, a death. Because Nuffle is never kind.
No, if you get one, you have them all. Purple Chest, are you watching on Cabal Vision or off the stream? Just so that I don't.
Well, I'm on the
ahead of
stream,
you.
so I'm a little late. Yeah, I meant to load in, and I got lazy and didn't. So I will,
I'll just keep it
be a
on,
little more ahead of time.
Keep my reactions down to the video. Are there any public rules? That's a very good question, Noobster. Purple Chest, are there any
Yes.
public rules for CNA?
Yes, there are. And if Gerion or Eludius or Yakiste were in the chat, I'm sure they would drop them. And if not, Volcajo tends to be very helpful at these sorts of things. And he already has. There we go.
Thank you, Andy.
And you, particularly if I alluded to Yakiste being more helpful than Volcajo, he would drop the rules. Well done, Volt. And thank you. Right, so now we're down numbers, but, we're elves. We're used to being down numbers. We still have 9. That's plenty of elves. One's a tree, but it's doing okay so far. It hasn't rooted, and it's holding up the side swap, which, even if you're as slow as dwarves, is something that every race likes to do.
We're also quite limited to one half of the pitch, which is doesn't give that much room to maneuver.
No, they can drive forwards. They can move into the middle, but the tree certainly means that they can't swap to the other side. Obviously, you do need to still defend the forwards in the middle, or they will just go into those spaces. But I mean, at the moment, I kind of think if you're the Cursed Dwarves, you think, well, I'm quite happy to sit here and hit for a couple of turns, see if I can chip another elf or two. But also the woodies are quite happy just to keep them, hemmed in there. So it's an interesting couple of turns where I'm not sure we're going to see a massive amount happen.
Sikazags is asking what the score is for this round, and am I right in that this is the first game? Or
no, it's the second game.
Oh, it's not. Apologies.
We already had Rick Reckless and Le Marseillais fight out an extremely enjoyable game. Spoilers warning, I am going to tell you the result, so if you don't want to hear it, put your fingers in your ears and go nah, nah, nah for about 15 seconds from now. It was a draw, so at the moment it is half a point each.
And we're back with yet another dodge failure, but this one is a 3+, so not quite as upsetting.
Yeah, and so far the dodge failures haven't been costing us very much. It was, just as I say that, of course. One of the people left in danger because the dodge fail pays the price.
So now we're down to 7 full-blown elves and 1 tree, which is kind of doing its own thing. Yeah.
Really importantly, though, we still got both the war dancers. I suppose we might be at the time where, if we're really looking to get some mileage out of this, 2-die uphilling the blockless ball carrier starts to become an option.
Is it time to do a little leap action?
Well, I mean, the problem with it is you have to have some belief that you can recover afterwards as well.
We'll
So
see
you
how
need
the
to be able to,
catcher's sticking around.
yeah, you need to be able to get in and still have something out on the outside where it can sweep the ball up and get away. Wow, Jerome getting
So
very aggressive, trying to hem all these elves in.
closing down. Yeah. Lucky they didn't go with a surfing ball. Yeah, that would have been a very different team. A little more on the experimental side.
Now, there is definitely another surf on here if Tree wants it. The claw piece is definitely surfable on a 1 die into 1 die.
I mean, at this point, since you're behind, do you go full variance plays and try to equalize? Yeah.
It looks like we're actually maybe trying to surf the bull, which I don't think we can do. Can we? No, I don't think the bull is surfable. He's certainly attackable.
Not anymore.
I don't know if you can control. Oh dear.
Okay.
If you can control the
1 and
bull,
2.
yeah, he is
Oof.
surfable. But it's nasty dice to do so.
Oh, it's a hard choice. Takes the safer play.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. It's just a lot of dice when we've already used a reroll this turn. After the push there, you desperately needed to pow the Chaos Dwarf on 2, and then you'd get a 2 die to surf it. Oh no, a 1. Yeah, you'd have to bring the War Dancer in, so then a 2+ for 2 die. Oh no, okay, those are both catchers on the Dwarf. So you need a 1 die pow on the Dwarf, followed by a 2+ for 2 die to surf it with the Dancer. Yeah, that's asking a lot. Oh, we get the 1 die pow though. Now she's going to be spitting tax.
But they're quite separated now, so...
Yeah, absolutely. The hope is that Justicium can't find a plan to get them back involved, and instead moves what he has left back into the centre where the tree might get more involved. It certainly it's worked out a nice turn at the cost of only a reroll. It's posed problems, and that's something I always like to do. Tree, though, I don't know, maybe we should be hitting with the tree. Then we could grab that dwarf slightly infield and maybe start to move. If we stunned it, for example, we could move back in and threaten this cage. I think both sides have accepted they're just going to stand there, the dwarf to hold the tree and the tree to hold the dwarf.
I like the guard positioning in the middle, which kind of allows Tree to switch sides if it needs to be. But it looks like we're still staying on the right side.
Well, also we just needed something there because there was a gap between the tree and the War Dancer that could have been exploited, although it would have meant leaving the 2 on the edge behind. Instead, it looks like we're accepting the bull surf, yeah, and recovering the jaw. Okay.
Ooh.
That's the aggressive route of doing it. So, wow. Yeah.
Can you surf both of them now?
Yes.
With a little dodging?
100% you can. I mean, you can certainly, the bull is very easy to surf now. It just requires 2 dodges, frankly.
But getting both the Mighty Blow, Chorf, and the bull would be fantastic. But you'd need to fill in quite a few squares for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible, and it'll actually only take a single 3+. But you worry about that later. If you're going to do it, you don't even need to stand the. Actually, could you? Yeah, you could just do that. Okay, so you need to fill in the square, yeah, on the edge, and then.
Oh no! Abort mission. She's thinking about it, but.
So you fill in the square to the right of that catcher she's hovering over right now, and then an assist from the left of that same catcher, and then the Juggernaut dodges out and goes 1 square north of where he is and surfs both from there.
But 2 great players out. Oh, that seems like such a nice reward.
Yeah, it is, but it's a lot. It's all your dice and all your team, so it opens up
And
the
the
whole of the
entire
rest of
team,
the
yeah.
field.
Ah, it's tough. Happy New Year, Grickner.
Although it also
Yeah.
frees up the catcher that is a little bit stuck on the side. So there's some positives to it too. I mean, I think the risk is worth it, and the catcher that's there at the moment can move afterwards. So there's ways to fill in some holes.
I love
But
it. I want it.
there's
I
a
hope
fair
it
amount to do.
happens. For the entertainment.
No, it doesn't look like we are.
I mean, there's 100%. I mean, we've seen the tree has started planning it out, so she certainly sees it. It's just a matter of whether she thinks it's worth it. And that's
Yeah, we're running out of time as well.
15
There's a lot to
seconds.
get
No,
done if we
doesn't
are
look
going
like
to do
it.
it. No, we're not doing it.
We're just separating my. Ooh, look at that. Cheeky one die pop. And we have a war dancer on the ball. Ham, the other guy is Justicium, who's actually a very experienced and great French player. So definitely not just a random person to run over. But yeah, I think all of chat has just groaned in sad disappointment, but purely for entertainment value reasons. Oh, that other. Sorry, Ham. Apologies. Carry on.
No, Ham, I'm not Dizzy Bess. Dizzy Bess is, I would imagine, watching and chatting with you all, but I haven't actually seen her.
She's
So I
around.
imagine Dizzy Bess is busy.
great.
So I am the Dizzy because Dizzy is busy. Ah, there she is.
No, she's been
Or
around.
she'd be with us, yeah.
Very much doing her admin duties. But
No, I've been very privileged to be asked to be on Tree's stream when she's had her chalice runs in the past, and as one of her colleagues in Team England, she asked if I was free this evening, and I was very thrilled to say yes.
likewise,
Oh,
I'm
dear.
so excited. This is my very first professional casting jobs. I'm super excited. Both to watch this and to be able to randomly talk about it with Chess, who actually knows what he's talking about, unlike me.
No, I just say lots of things. Some of them occasionally make sense.
Oh, but you say them very confidently, so it sounds like you're talking about the right thing.
90% of the trick in my experience. Right, so unfortunately we have another elf removed, though the upside is we have managed to arrest this forward progress quite notably. It's already turn 6, and if you look, none of the chorfs are really going to be in a position to help out when the ball moves forwards on turn 7.
And we've somehow managed to have a tree on 2 chorfs.
We do. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. So we didn't get the serfs, but the upside of not putting all of our team into doing that is exactly this, that perhaps there's not going to be enough coming forward to really adequately protect this ball. And maybe finally it'll be time to test that blockless ball carrier out. It has cost us 2 elves this already, this idea to defend, so let's see if it can pay off.
All right, we're on our feet. But with no surfs, you can't sing the Andy song. Yeah, I think if the surf had happened, you would have been obliged.
Yes, unfortunately, the surf was just a few 2+s to line it up, and then 2+ into 2+ to surf them both. And both would have been 2 dies. Sorry, so a few 2+s and then 2 die and 2 die. Only needing pushes each time. It was lovely, but it did require quite a commitment. And would have completely opened up space had it gone wrong, but I personally would have done it.
Can we
There was
get
enough
dice
to
on the
move
ball
afterwards.
here?
Yes.
It seems like a...
I mean, the answer is always yes. The question is how difficult is it?
Sure.
But here, a very simple little 1 die gives us dice on ball, or a 4+ dodge, which shouldn't be terrifying to elves. However, we do only have 1 reroll left. And of course, when we get dice on ball, it is strength 4.
I guess it's not too easy to grab, to wedge the guard in there, to try to make it a 1 die at least.
No.
But, yeah.
Particularly as it's starting on the ground. Collie, I'm not 100% sure I agree. As I said, I think the position she left herself in instead did arrest the forward movement of the Dwarves. Now, I think you could have done the Serfs and probably ended up in as solid a defensive position to stop them moving forwards. But I'd have to have another look at it again to be certain, and anything goes wrong during it, you wouldn't.
Ooh, we're going.
Oh, we're surfing. So this is Reds.
There you
but
go.
It's it. Now we're going to be
Oh.
trapped on the edge, so we're going to have to dodge out. But it's only a 3+ with inbuilt reroll. So once we've surfed them, it's not that big a problem to get out again.
That's our consolation surf.
There we go.
Very nice.
And we can leave that bull, which of course, as I said before the game, doesn't have break tackle on that sidestep catcher. And it's pretty well trapped. The Dwarves are mostly stuck back where the bull centaur is. Oh, that's a filthy one die.
She's out chorfing the dwarfs.
But it's done a lovely job.
And she has, yeah, that's not worth the last reroll.
No.
So is it time for a song? Or protest?
No,
There was a surf.
I there
You
was
might
a
need to
surf.
there was a surf. You might need to create a new song, right? Because I think in recent history, Tree's been doing quite a few of them in this game, in this tournament, right?
She has, but all surfs flow from Andy Davo. I think we all know that.
The source of surfing.
In fact, I think he invented surfing. I think certainly I recall hearing that somewhere.
I'm sure.
Might have been from Andy himself, but it's it isn't true, but it's fun.
It's positively trademarked.
He is extremely good at it, and not just at surfing, but at chain pushing and general Tetris-like tomfoolery.
It's nice. Andy invented wood elves. Absolutely.
So the problem here is we did arrest the forward progress, but with so many elves off and so many in slightly loose positions, we are going to be able to move the dwarfs in a position where the ball is defended, but it is still going to have to go for it, and of course those can fail. And we do have our lovely frenzy juggernaut dancer to get in there and maybe do some lovely stuff. Is it time to finally throw that final reroll and an elf at this blockless ball carrier, or are we saving it for the one turn, do you think?
I think we got to keep it for the one turn, right? Because well, I guess the sure hands. Well, does he have any other carrying options if he gets knocked down? It's
Yes,
just the dirty player. All right. Oh no, there's the other one at the front as well. So he has some options, even if the ball carrier goes down.
Yes, both the forward Chaos Dwarves are in range, and that Hobgoblin in front of the bull is in range, and the other bull is in range. So just the 4 other options.
Yeah, and our recovery options aren't very good to get it
Yeah,
somewhere
and
safe.
finally manages to get that dirty player in on one of the War Dancers, and of course, Tree straight in with the Apo. Kahunas on that Apo, and lovely to see it in a resurrection format. It definitely works on that elf that we do need.
That's our strip baller, yeah, we need it. Also, how many players will we have for the one turn? I guess Wood Elves don't actually need much, but we have
7
we'll
to
have
9.
9. Oh, possibly, yeah, 9 most.
But with a
We'd like to
grab
have
tree
Yeah,
and a
we'd like to have the
sidestep
thrower
catcher,
out.
it's
we can.
always going to be very possible, I'd have thought.
Shtick, it's resurrection format, right? So you might not even get an opportunity to use Moon, and that is your most powerful. Well, one of your 2 most powerful players.
Well, I was watching a very talented and promising young German coach. I mean, he's terrible at the moment, but he'll get there. And he was in exactly this situation, but under the new rules, where he had lost, I think, his only dwarf runner in the first half. And was considering, does he use the Apo? There we are, filthy red
Well,
dice.
look at that.
That's what a blockless ball carrier does to you. Down it goes.
Oh
But
no!
straight into the hands of the waiting Hobgoblin, who is in range.
That was unfair.
That's filthy. That is absolutely filthy on both sides. Filthy from both sides.
Twice!
Oh, we go
Stop
back in
it!
the hand. We get it again.
Love it.
Also reducing
Does
by
he have-
2/5 the amount of scoring options that these Chaos Dwarves have.
Who is even left? It's
There you are. There's statistics for you.
It's just the That's right.
It's the two
just
Chorfs
bull,
and
right?
the other bull. Yeah.
The Chorf is needs a push. Oh, sorry, the other Chorf. No, the Chorfs can see it. You're right.
2, 3, 4. The Chorfs are all in
Yep.
range. Two Chorfs and the bull are in range.
With a reroll,
Wow,
it's not
there's going to
unheard
be a
of, but-
very cross Frenchman right now. Obviously
Look at
twiddling
that.
his moustache, smashing his onions, looking at his striped top and contemplating leaving this game for a nice trip on his bicycle. For anyone that isn't English, those are, of course, all the English stereotypes of how French people dress and behave from our school books from a very young age.
Concede incoming. I don't think there's going to be a concede. I think this is certainly not over, even as far as the drive goes, but we'll see what that looks like. So is it pick up with a sure hands bull? Can he even make it? No. Nope, he cannot. Well,
There's a lot of ways of solving this, and that wasn't how I would have started. That was the dwarf I would have been scoring on. So let's see. I mean, like I said, I'm not going to tell Justicium how to play anything because he's very good at Blood Bowl.
that's the second chore used. Okay, so we're trying with the bull then.
Yeah, the bull is now our remaining option, and there's a sidestepper on the bull. Of course, we do have another option, which is to kill all the elves and win in the second half. But I would be looking to score here.
We don't have any babes or anything like that. No, we do not.
Is there a way we can't get a push on the bull? I don't know what Jerome is feeling like doing here. That first block was madness to me. That was the obvious option to get the ball into that Chorf's hands. He must be thinking he can score on the bull, and I don't know how he's planning to do that.
Who's picking up the ball? Is it the short hands
Someone
bull?
else. Someone else. Probably the short hands bull, who can actually just hand off. So if this bull, yeah, there we go, gets his pow, and he will now
and a
charge
KO.
into the end zone, and then the bull will pick up and then hand
Receiving.
off on a couple of 4+. He'll have a reroll for each.
All right, let's
So it's
see.
a pick up with sure hands and then a handoff with a reroll. So it's a 4+4+ with a reroll on each. It's not a bad solution, to be honest. But he did need that. No, he
needed
didn't.
the power on the sidestepper, didn't he?
Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, sadly, a push, even if it had gone into the most awkward spot, he still had the space to run around it.
75% chance and reroll,
Oh, now it's at 50%,
and he's got it.
and he gets it. Ah. Well, that
Well
was a
done, Justicium.
fantastic late drive defense from Tree. Really creative. Really decided she had to roll the dice and rolled them. Got lucky, but unfortunately, Justicium found a way through, which was needed some good, decentish dice, but he got them.
Oh,
There
look
we
at
go.
those KO rolls. Ouch.
Yeah, first set not ideal. We got one back, didn't we? Or
We
is
did
that
get the
one for
thrower, which is
Chorfs?
nice.
Yeah.
No, we got a thrower, which is kind of nice for the one turn attempt.
But 3 sleep on, so slightly under the odds. If we get 2 more back, that would probably do. Now, is this enough if we grab the first one into space?
So of course, catchers with the sprint have only need 2 pushes, so
Yes, and we do have
It's
grab
not-
to get the first one set up. It should still, I think, be possible.
we'll also have a sidestep catcher, which will make that a little bit easier as well.
Put him there and there. Yeah, I think I would see how I would do this. It doesn't make it easy, but it's doable.
And Tree plays pretty much her favorite team is Woody, so she's certainly been in this quite a bit. So we'll see how she solves it.
Oh, but there's some brutal dodges after that to come as well.
Against every tackle player in existence.
Well, no, because for some reason Jerome has left a bull covering a hobgoblin, so there's a route through.
Surely
without...
not.
Ah, there we go.
Surely that's going to change. Yep, there we go.
Yep. But you can still, I mean, once you get past the dwarf line, you can get onto one of the bulls and be dodging past him. So at least you can get those dodges. But yeah, this is tricky. Yep. Put the tree 2 to the left. That's sidestep a 1 to where the tree is. Okay, she's got a different plan to mine, so...
Lehman Russ, I suspect we might.
Oh, okay, she's using the blitz. There's one.
So not even going for the tree.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the great thing about this is that it's only 2. Mine was 3, but did leave a blitz free to try and move the dwarves, maybe. Gets the handoff.
And there we go. Now just the joy of running through the... Ooh.
So now it is a 3, 4, 3 without rerolls, 3, 2 with, 2, 2, 2 without.
All right, click ball, click end zone.
Yep.
Oh, so that's how elves work. Oh no!
Plus 2+.
That was disgusting.
Ah, of course on the tripwire. Because Nuffle only finds it funny if you fail the last one. That is brutal.
That's incredibly painful.
Pulled off the lovely 2 hit only push, which is great. Minimized the number of pushes needed. Got those 3s and the 4. But the 2+ at the end cost.
So I guess we're going for the draw now. See if we can pull off the stall for long enough to make that a thing.
Well, look, on the positive side, the KOs, we did get 2 out of 3 back. So across the 2 rolls, we got 3 out of 4, which is bang on average. So we're only down to 8, which is probably enough.
Basically a full Woody team, right?
Yeah, but also a full Chorf team. I mean, they are down 2 hobgoblins, but only 2. They managed to get their brutal foul in with the dirty player and not get called on it. So already we're seeing the wide line of scrimmage. Now, this is partly an answer to the possibility of the withdrawn offense. So Justicium is trying to make sure that either Tree takes 3 hits on the line, leaving some things there for him to get on top of, or that everyone has to dodge off a tackle piece, which obviously creates threats to the rerolls or to an early turn fail. So that's why he's spreading, is deliberately knowing that with the up on numbers and the score in his pocket, he wants to create threat right from the outset. However, he is also leaving wings free. So he's saying, if you want to 2-turn it and give me, 7 turns to 2-1 you, I'm quite all right with that.
Which,
and
considering
I'm sure
the last
it's tempting.
drive,
I'm sure it's tempting, Tree.
yeah. Considering the last drive, it is quite tempting.
The more KOs she hadn't got back, the more tempting it becomes. But with only 1 on the KOs bench right now, it is tempting. But it's hella risky. I can't tell from the setup whether Tree's going for it or not. She's certainly left herself the option, but I would suggest probably not.
I'm sorry, I have to mute myself for just one moment. I'll be right back.
So do I in a sec, so I shall wait till you are. Yes, Space, you can. Yeah. You can blitz just the central piece, but it leaves you already nice and wide. And it means you're only hitting one. I personally would have had the wide dwarves one space further inwards, and then it does complicate things a lot more. But you're right, I don't think it does cover the Daka much, or the withdrawn offense. Oh. So using that Juggernaut to good effect, and does get the power on the second set of dice. Still no armor break. Not been very lucky there outside of the Hobgobs, and of course one of those came from a rock. But we haven't pushed forward into all of this space given to us. What we've done is a very nice securing of the ball behind the tree, but we have stayed up in the dwarves' faces. So I don't know. I'd like to have seen us either run away or run forwards. I'm not sure standing there and starting to have a fight is ideal.
Hello again. I'm back. I just caught the last of what you were saying. I think the original plan was to try to do a little bit of a withdrawn defense, try to hide from taking any more hits. So I'm a little curious about what's changed. But we are kind of setting up in the middle now.
Yes. Now, are we going to throw a couple of catchers deep? No, we're putting them in behind the tree. Okay, so I think we're going to look to see which way the dwarves commit, and then move in numbers,
She's
either
quite
up
wide,
the flank or backwards. Yeah, we've got some nice width. Yeah. Very interesting first dwarf to put in. Doesn't have guard, so it hasn't lended an assist there. It's literally just clogging elves up. They predicted in the first half. What we're seeing here is Justicium just putting lots and lots of tackle and strength in front of these elves, and making them do those 2+s, trying to pull the rerolls, getting a nice dwarf wall all the way across the pitch, so there's no easy route forwards in numbers.
Yep, there we go. Just one big line of dwarfs.
Yeah, this is. I think he's messed up where he wants his blitz to be. This is one die, isn't it? Oh, he's hitting the catcher, of course. So that catcher with guard, such a valuable piece, and there it's gone. And there's the flank that I would have been wanting to go up next turn, now fully closed down, I think. And yeah, the blockless, nearly irrelevant bull takes central guarding position. Tough spot.
Okay, so now we're
running away.
Possibly running away. Yep.
Yes, I think that elf is in place so that we can blitz off the Chorf guarding the other elf, and it can run away too. Oh, we're leaving multiple elves up in the dwarf's faces.
Is this almost inviting the dwarves to come in on the left flank?
I mean, you'd certainly want them to. If the dwarves get lopsided, that's fantastic, because you can attack them through the centre of that lopsided shape and give yourself loads of space to head into. I mean, there's always positives with negatives. I am worried about the amount of elves we're leaving up in their face. But the flip side of that is that, as you said, if they come for the ball area, then they're not going to leave enough team behind to cover all of these elves. And a quick pass forward, suddenly out. You know, that's exactly what we didn't want. Now, this time it's late enough in the turn, and hence we have to put the reroll in. To create some space and some length. Excellent. Well, I think that's better than if just we were recovering that piece into a defensive position. Because it did leave one catcher at risk right under Mighty Blow with a 3-die easily available.
He's Wood Elves don't seem particularly agile today.
No,
Or at
they
least
certainly don't.
in the beginning of the drives. Bravely running away.
Volk is absolutely right. I think really Tree should be rolling less ones. That's certainly something she needs to think about.
Something to take away for next game. Also, try not to play Chorse is another one. So,
Yes, I mean, it was a horrible, horrible pairing for her.
not an ideal matchup.
Now, the Tree is in a nice position here, and I wouldn't be amazed to see the Chorfs try and take it down just because of how nice it is.
Oh yeah?
It's really cutting off a lot of the Chorf team from attacking the area where these Elves have headed forwards to.
There
And
we
if
go.
Tree can take back control there, yeah.
Oh, and that's not the break tackle blow, is
Excellent.
it? So now he's
No.
stuck here as well.
He is stuck.
You're going to get another chance at
So
it.
now
but...
we have to put another one in, but now unfortunately it's going to be the claw that hits the Tree.
And still stays upright. Is that a reroll?
No, that wasn't the claw piece. The claw mighty blow is the piece they're trying to recover, and now it's the piece hitting the Tree instead.
And finally gets it.
But the Tree tanks the hit and will stand up, bothering all of those pieces. That's a fantastic result for the shape of this. Leaving very little to threaten this deep catcher, which I think is where that mighty blow dwarf was going. So now the blockless bull feels it has to withdraw and cover it. Oh, is there a way forwards with enough elves, or do you just have to pass and score? Maybe. No, I mean there is a way.
There are 4 players and they're all reasonably dodgy.
They're also a little hemmed in.
That stunned player is really in the way.
Yeah. Now, with a little 3-2 action, Elves can always get out of anything and back involved, but it's not what you want to do. They tend to leave that to the human teams. And really nicely, Justicium has made sure that all 3 Elves that are between the ball and that really open catcher are in 2 tackle zones, so it's a 4+ to hand off to any of them. And still maybe not the worst play here. Using one of the War Dancers to perhaps clear that down to a single tackle zone on the other one. And then hand off, run, and the cheeky little pass. Get a couple of Elves up in the backfield and just try and stall it out against the blockless bull.
It's all seeming very precarious at this point.
Yes.
Wood Elf life. There we go. Get a leap to clear the...
Oh, this
Okay.
this is 1 into 2 reds.
Ouch.
If we'd come at
Bit of
that
a-
from directly ahead of the shape, it could have been 1 into 1. 1 into 2. And cleared the catcher at the same time, so I think that was not ideal positioning. I mean, it was 2 more spaces to get there, but probably worth it for all the good impact it would have had on that blitz. Because now, I think unfortunately, we're in a very tough position. Need this tree to tank a lot of hits. It started with the
It's
first
just
one.
all hopes on the tree. Make sure that all of those chores are... There you go.
Very good news. Yeah, we don't care the tree going down. Pulling the reroll is even better. It means even any kind of
3
2 die on
players.
this ball is less likely to work. Don't see how they're going to get blocked there. Ooh, they can bring the bull. Okay.
Oh, they're bringing it back.
No, that's to cover this catcher that's deep now before they attack the ball in case they go for it to attack the ball fail. with the reroll gone, you suddenly have to do all of the safe stuff that you didn't really want to. You wanted to do it after this developing action. Okay, going in with the Hobgob, not the Bull. I think that's a mistake, but gets the POW.
No, but it works. And another
And
dead
not only the
player.
POW, but the kill.
Oh, well, it's all looking peachy now, doesn't it? Isn't it, for Justicium?
Yeah, I can't deny it. It's looking fine for him. I mean, it has been for a while, but it's now looking particularly fine for him.
Just cleaning up the elves now.
I mean, I absolutely respect Tree's right to play this game the way she's played it. I personally would have, if it was my choice, I would have received the ball and tried to score in 8 turns and nail a draw. But Tree felt she had ways into this. It was a very tough matchup, and had she, held that score up in the first half or turned them over, it would have
Or
been
the
a
one-turn
beautiful,
attempt. I mean, there
yeah,
were...
the one turn that nearly got there would have been a beautiful, unexpected, score for Team England. But yeah, because even if the one turn had worked, I mean, it just would change what Tree did in the second half, and hence we wouldn't be in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
So it so nearly worked, but yeah, sadly this time doesn't look like doing so. And she's definitely done enough that I think the CD are going to score, and then, she does have time to get a quick one in and perhaps a blitz. It's not over, but it's certainly a tough position. Yeah, I think the Chaos Dwarves are going to have to score here. The other option is they pull all the way back. They can just huddle up in the field, but I'd rather be 2-0 up facing Wood Elves with the ball than 1-0 up trying to defend it.
Yeah, and the Wood Elves are dwindling, right? We're down 5 at this point.
Yeah.
We might get 2 of them back, but without the guard, that will be extra difficult.
Okay. Yeah, okay, it is just a blitz,
Yeah,
but
so
with a
that sounds
pretty
like a
shape.
score.
Yes. Otherwise, those are the Dwarves that you'd have been forming a cage with to run the ball back into. Yeah, there we go. So we do get a chance for it's going to have to be a very quick 2-turn score, and then hopefully a blitz or a misfield to secure the draw.
And we only have 1 KO back. So is there any point to trying a 1-turn here?
No, you see,
Gotta
this time
YOLO the
Justicium
score
is...
back?
Yeah, this time Justicium is going to cover the wings because he knows he's just got to hold them up. As long as they score in 3, he's won. So he just needs to hold them up on this first turn. Now, it is genuinely impossible to entirely cover the field. You usually have to leave some way through. But the paucity of elves means that could be a little tricky. So traditionally what you do is exactly what Justicium's doing here, which is really strengthen your wings to prevent just 2 or 3 elves running down and side caging. But it might still be the way through. Oh no, we didn't get the guard back, did we? Damn. Otherwise, one night that blockless bull might have been my choice.
Can we run down the middle here?
Yeah, if not, yeah, we go down the middle here. It still requires a lot of 2+ing once you take out the claw piece in the middle. But you've only got to move the claw piece in the middle to finally have your route through. The upsetting thing is we're so short on elves, we're going to have to leave those hobgoblins alone.
I think killing them was never really the strategy, was it?
Yeah, I mean, it was earlier. If you can take 4 or 5 hobgoblins down, particularly when one went on the very first kickoff result, if you remember.
That's right.
If you can denude the hobgoblins, then Chaos Dwarves weirdly do suffer without them, despite how terrible they
Penif, they do have a sure hand. They have a sure hand's bull. that has been the
Yes.
carrier in the last turn, in the last drive.
I think Penef is just refusing to see it, and rightly so.
Why would there ever be a ball carrier bull?
It's not a terrible question.
All right, we're
It
going.
looks like
we're
are
going for the one turn.
one turn.
Oh no! And we're just not getting it.
No, and that's also, I think, killed the 2-turn. I mean, obviously the 1-turn would have been infinitely preferable to the 2-turn, but the 3-turn kills us. Tree certainly not had the lucky rolls this game.
And I don't hate trying to tie roll it here, right? Because you're massively behind. You need to try to get some sort of variance here. Try to hope for it, but it just didn't happen.
Absolutely.
More often than not, it's not going to happen.
Well, if it was, we wouldn't think of it as high rolling, but as sensible strategy. Yeah, no, absolutely. If you're in a tough spot, then you have to do things with potentially lucky outcomes. And hence, Tree, knowing that really the 2-turn is the only remaining option, has decided she had to get that catcher through. And I wouldn't be amazed to see her try it with the remaining one, the lineman.
Ooh, trying to get it out of range. I mean, the bull and the other Chorf can absolutely get to her. But
Yeah.
it requires a little bit of a GFI.
Oh, she's left a couple of pieces midfield. I think Jerome is too experienced to leave those unguarded because they're obvious run and hand it to them and they run and throw. Mid stages of the classic elf 2-step.
She didn't have the lucky rolls. That's true, Kopaz. She had one spectacularly lucky turn, and then not so much what she was hoping for in the others. But there were certainly opportunities for her to get lucky where she did not. Put it that way. And there were opportunities both ways for the Chorfs to both get lucky and not get lucky. And I think overall they were pretty even on as far as dice rolls went. But
yeah, little things like that have happened. That blitz on the catcher in the backfield getting pals, which is only 55%, so it's likely to happen, but certainly not certain. And it seems to have happened quite a lot. Lots of the little things seem to have gone well for Justicium. And yes, when Tree did get spectacularly lucky with those red dice, it didn't end up paying off, did it? So Justicium got almost as lucky at the same time. Removes his bull, though. Okay.
A little bit,
as people would have heard me say before, 87.6% of bulls die on failed GFIs. So not greatly surprising.
Purple Chest coming in with the true statistics.
Yeah, you do know that was a lie. That's not true in any way. I just made that up.
Oh no, don't tell him that.
Yeah, the handoff to the catcher, lovely. The blitz from the other remaining elf frees it. And can also sit on the hobgoblin afterwards. That seems slightly weird to free up the other 2 dwarves. Why are we advancing there? Oh, okay. No, I still don't understand.
Who's the blitz?
Okay, it's fine because we're scoring this turn. Yeah, I don't think we need to blitz now. We're just going 2+2+ and throw.
And there we go. And that's the elf. 2-turn. 5-player 2-turn.
And the elf 2-step coming in there. The old run, handoff, run, throw. Score.
Look at those KO rolls. Ones all around, but that includes the bulls. So we have
absolutely.
One bull down.
And that is the only sure hands piece on this Chaos Dwarf team. So really a blitz here would be beautiful, but any kind of misfield, any kind of problem in picking that ball up. Justicium only has 3 rerolls left. Ah, damn. But even with a reroll, a 1 in 9 still happens roughly 1/9 of the time. Or if he's foolish enough to try and pick up on his remaining bull, that's of course 1/4 of the time. Plus there are kicks into areas that are hard to get enough dwarves and hobgoblins into. But for newer players watching this, what we will see here from Justicium is a classic anti-blitz offense. He has no intention of driving forwards. He just needs to make sure that he secures the line of scrimmage area and is secure against any blitz coming at him. Hence we're seeing those dwarves across the field spreading their evil tackle, making it as hard to get into the backfield as possible in case of a blitz.
And here we go. Everybody hoping for the blitz and a quick snap instead. That's going to make it even more difficult. The ball's now quite covered, even if they do fail to pick it up.
Yes, it's landed in a pretty much ideal spot. And as we saw at the very start of this game, Justicium very good at making sure there's a good screen in front of it before he does any kind of pickup. And he does have that one reroll, but things happen. Last round of CNA, there were some minor miracles.
He says humbly.
I wasn't going to point out what they were.
Certainly not by any dwarf players or anything.
Well, no, I mean, there was all sorts of... I mean, in lots of the other matches that I've seen, there was all sorts of exciting play at times. So, yeah, see, again, that double line in front of where the pickup is, just added redundancy, making it even harder, even with a blitzing a hole, to get through to where this ball might be failed.
And there
Sadly,
we go.
it
Easy
isn't.
pickup.
And, of course, that also means a cage right in front of it. If it wanted to, but it's choosing to stay even deeper behind that double line of interference. I don't know about that. That does mean
Tree now
that
has
enough...
two dice, red dice on the ball, or even...
2 green if she wants them. It depends on how many leaps and dodges she's wishing to do.
And she does have a strip baller.
Yeah, and 2 war dancers. So we can just leap one in behind this ball and then the other one in behind for 2 die. I think it should have moved forwards into a cage, but it didn't. There's certainly an opportunity here.
Ooh. We're not taking it. We're just moving through.
There's only one turn left after this. We can't now...
Huh.
I mean, we've put that dancer in range, but the ball is right... The catcher in range, but the ball's right there. I admit I'm very confused. That seemed like an excellent opportunity to do some elfing. Because the first one of these isn't off tackle, and the second one isn't either, so that war dancer could have been on the ball. And the other one could leap through and hit it for 2 die.
That feels like a missed opportunity, but I guess we'll ask Tree about it pretty soon.
Yeah, it really does, unfortunately. Yeah, he ran out in the first half, Volk, but in the second half he's not needed any, no.
I don't think he ran out, did he?
Yeah, he used his last one on the scoring action.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I don't recall if he was using any for hits. I think they were all for solving problems, but I couldn't swear to it.
That's true. He did have a double skull earlier. But that didn't.
I'm very confused why we didn't try the ball hit there. I think that was a suicide no to a turn. But Tree might have a plan.
Can the ball get out of range of the dancers? I think there is at this point. Top left corner. Top left corner is out of range.
Okay, yeah. No, you're right, it is.
So, I think that might be the game sealing one. Oh. I frankly don't understand that move either.
No, that's, as you said, that's not a particularly safe spot. Though it is quite a long way away from where Justicium doesn't want the ball to be.
It is, but the dancer is just getting there at this point.
Yes.
No matter what.
And there's an elf on the floor that could theoretically field it afterwards. But we've yet to blitz. Oh no, we have blitzed, haven't we?
We blitzed already. The dancer's up.
Okay, well, so Tree will get another shot.
We're gonna have a chance at a hero play.
And I think it's going to be at least one die. I don't see how she gets two and has any recovery options afterwards, but yeah, she could definitely get around and get a dice in on this ball.
Leap dodge. All sorts of excitement. It won't be easy, but it'll be fun.
I mean, there are a lot of dice to roll to get there, but it's possible. That's the point. And where you're hitting the ball, there is also an elf in that area that might theoretically recover. So there are some options here.
Quick rules question: does the number of touchdown mean anything in any kind of tie-breaking event for this tournament?
No.
Okay, so there is no real point of going for 3, is there?
No, not at all.
Interesting.
The first tiebreaker, I mean, I don't know that it's completely irrelevant, but the first tiebreaker is the internal score. So the first is score, so obviously England has X points, France has X points. The second is how many points you've got as a team within the round. So England did very well in the first round with 3 wins and 2 draws. So that gives us, I think, 11 points, 3 for a win and 1 for a draw. So the first tiebreaker is that, and I can't imagine after that they'd need to go any deeper.
Well, that's unfortunate. There goes the reroll. So
there goes the reroll.
All further excitement is going to have to be naked.
Well, there's still ways around, but now I might go round the outside of the bull on a 3-3-3, abusing my dodge now that I can't abuse my reroll. Excellent. Gets there, gets the 1 die, and gets the skull. Well, we did create the opportunity. I'm amazed it was that good an opportunity. I didn't think after turning down the 1 on turn 15 it would be. But it did come, and we did try our best and get there. It's a good play by Tree, but not
certainly
quite
an elf attempt. Good game. Congratulations. Commiserations, Tree. That was a very exciting Wood Elf versus Chorf game, because those could be quite...
Oh, no, I thought it was a thriller throughout. Really, really good play. Lots of stuff going down in all directions. Just trying to work out when our next game is to let the lovely spectators know. Sean and Jimmy's games are both on Wednesday. Jimmy Fantastic's at 1900 UTC and Sean G's at 2000 UTC right after him. And then the final one in the round, if we still need it to win, will be my game on Thursday at 7:30 UTC.
Any casters for either of those games?
Not that I know of yet. I'm sure Jimmy's got some people. I'm looking for people. Had to turn down Crystal, who wanted me for one of his games at that time. But obviously I will be playing.
Sorry, guys.
A lot of CNA.
Sorry I couldn't get that one across the line.
Hey, Tree. Don't be sorry. You played hard. You played well. You did lots of things that could have had good outcomes.
Yeah,
that was exciting.
I felt like there were like bits that I was really pleased with what I was doing and bits that I really let get away from me. It was one of those games where like I've really sort of had some things I was like, yeah, I'm smashing this, and then some bits that and you know, I'm certain some things that like people would have disagreed with that I will stand by, and some things that were definitely wrong.
How about that double red dice turn? That was certainly an exciting one.
Oh my god. Oh, thank you so much, Mad Dad. By the way, he's just dropped some gift subs. Oh, it was really, really kind of you.
Oh, thank you, Mad Dad. Well, I say thank you. Thank you on behalf of the people whose largesse has been, you have enriched with your largesse.
Oh my god. Like, the end of that first half was bonkers, right? Like, there were so many things that were weird. Like, I think I should have taken the double surf when it was there. I wimped out because I panicked that turn about getting overcommitted on the right-hand side. And I needed to bring that guard piece all the way over to do it. And then what I ended up doing was the worst of all worlds, because not only did I not do that surf, I also ran out of time and didn't move the guard catcher who got hit. So that was a disaster that turn.
Yes, that wasn't ideal. The flip side of it was, had you moved the guard catcher in and used the frenzy jugs to do the double serve,
Yeah.
the original catch that was there could have gone back in and replaced the the midfield position,
Right.
as well as the war dancer having some move left afterwards.
And it's such a
So
shame because
I still
I
felt there were
really
enough
had
elves to really clog them up.
I'd put
And you
them in
did clog
such
them
a
up very
bad
well.
position in that side. I really felt like I'd won that sort of
You-
initial sort of like forcing them where I wanted them to
Yep.
go, and I'd got them where I
Yep.
wanted them, and then I just threw it away, which is really frustrating.
The tree had knocked down one whole side of the field. He'd chosen the other side. You'd hemmed him in,
Well,
thinned out some of the support, trapped a couple near the edge. It all looked great. And I think turning down the surf was very not
yeah.
you.
Yeah,
And I do think that was a mistake. But, we all made them.
yeah, that was a mistake. Do you know what? You say the tree locked down one side of the field. If there's one thing almost more than the touchdown that really annoyed me in that half, is that there are a couple of times, and I doubt people even like dwelled on it because it's not like one of those big things, but there are a couple of times when the Chaos Dwarfs just dodged away without using a reroll, and it actually like was really frustrating because that then allowed Justicium more flexibility with how they repositioned into the middle.
Dodging away dwarves on a 4+, it's unheard of.
I know, it's just, but not even using a reroll, and if they'd used a reroll, maybe they don't have a reroll for that handoff on the final
Yeah.
turn. Like that's what's frustrating, like doing that without having to. But I don't think I don't think this was a game decided by dice. I think Justicium made like better big decisions than me. I think it's frustrating when you have those moments, like that score in the end needs the POW, needs the 4+ pickup, needs the 4+ handoff, whereas like our one turn, I don't know, I feel like it's similar odds and it doesn't come off, but at the same time I think Justicium played better than me, so I think that I'm sorry to Team England. It always feels like it
No
feels
need at
really
all. I'm
bad
speaking on
to
Team England's
let people
behalf, and I
down.
feel I can. We were 100% behind you. You coached your best. You tried some good things. They could well have worked. They just didn't tonight. That's Blood Bowl.
Yeah, the double surf is the big one, because I mean, imagine if we do that and you get 2 injuries out of it, which can happen. Like that was the big one. I'm sure not everyone would have liked my foul either, but I'm okay with that because I felt like a stun there really put them in a tough spot, and at that point they hadn't got any removals yet. Now of course the next block was an injury as well, but
Yeah,
I'm
it was
quite big
double
on-
punished.
I'm
I
quite big
didn't
on
love it.
pushing the advantage sometimes. Like that's kind of
Yeah.
how I play. Like I quite liked like when you've got that, which is why then not taking the surf is so stupid. So stupid. But,
Yes, I felt that was a change of mood in you. I thought the foul might be a little bit of tilt about that lovely surf you had set up before that hadn't worked.
Oh no. I was trying to
Okay.
force home an advantage. Like I felt like if I stunned that player there, it kind of killed their forward movement that way forward.
I
And
mean,
then
I
it's like,
didn't.
where are
I
you
mean, I
going?
didn't like it. I didn't hate it. I understood. You had 4 assists, which is enough to believe you're gonna at least break the dwarf armor and get a
Yeah.
result on it.
And then you
Um,
won
And
1-1.
it was horrible. You snaked it completely. And of course achieved nothing whilst getting sent off. But as you
Yeah.
said, with 10 elves and a tree, you can afford to lose one. It's you don't need to have 11 elves to be effective.
Right. I would never have done that foul. I think if there'd been any removals before, but there weren't, and like you've got through
Yes,
the
and
line
then
of scrimmage.
straight
and you
after it, the
think-
kill. It was
Yeah.
brutal luck.
But no, I don't. I had unlucky moments, but I'm definitely not here to say, oh, I should have won that game. Luck was bad. Like I think Justicium overall, like he didn't make the mistakes that I made, and that's
He coached
what
a hell of a
decided
game,
it.
yeah. I mean, he did. I have no idea why he hung his ball out that way in turn 15 for your turn 16 assault on it.
Yeah, turn 16. It was
He
unlikely,
could
but
have
I
just
could have
built a
still
lovely
got that.
purple, so he should have
Yeah.
done.
Had a moment, a chance for an elf play, and it was already a super exciting game before, and that would have been a really nice end to it.
It would have been crazy if
Pull
we
off
got
If
that.
you'll watch
LBS.
back, you might find I felt you weren't going to get that turn 16 shot, and I thought you should have tried 15. When again, for some reason, he hung the ball out the back. But it was a long shot to get there. But
Yeah.
we could have got 2 dice on it with both war dancers.
I tell you what I felt about that. And
Lots of jumps and dodges,
interesting.
though.
Well, yeah, but the thing that I was thinking about that is actually just, and it kind of, because actually what I think he should have done is taken 2 GFIs and gone to the back corner. I could never have got him.
Yeah.
But my thinking was, if I go for the ball on turn 15 and get it, I'll probably still not be able to protect it. Whereas if you save that reroll, because I only had 1 for turn 16, then it's you have a chance to go for the ball and score and do it all in one.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think he would give you any kind of sniff of the ball turn 16, and in the end, he gave you a really good chance at it. Just once again, the 3+ wasn't to be today, was it? So many times.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if I want to look at the dice, and I'm sure Volk will be happy to hear me say that. I feel like looking at the dice is going to tell me a different story to the one that is actually what happened. You know, I think this game, I
It
made
will
enough
serve you
mistakes to say
no
it's not that.
purpose. You know my belief there. It will serve you
Yeah.
no purpose.
Hey, Justicium,
Um,
thanks for the game. Yeah,
Now
really
I'm going
sort
to
of.
disappear though,
Oh,
and
thanks,
leave you to
PC.
talk to lovely Justicium and no doubt Giraffe. Thank
Thanks,
you for having
PC.
me on.
Thank you so
It
much
was
for
a pleasure
doing
to
it.
cast.
It was a joy to cast with you, and I will also probably go out as well and try to
Are you feeling
nurse
better,
my cough a
Giraffe?
little more.
Oh,
It
I'm
comes and
so
goes, and
sorry.
not in the best of shape. I'm seeing more doctors, but you know, we're slogging through it. I'm still gonna try to cast tomorrow, to stream tomorrow. So
Okay.
see how it goes.
I look forward to coming and listening. Thank you both so much for doing it. It's really, really kind of you. And
And
yeah, I love you guys to bits. And speak
it was
soon.
it was a really fun game to watch. I'm sorry
Good.
that it ended the way it did, but
Yeah.
it was definitely good entertainment.
Yeah, the other thing, I'm just going to keep talking about it with everyone else that's still in chat.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks, you guys. The other thing that I definitely got in a mess was my my offensive drive wasn't good. I don't think I had a good plan for that drive with down 3 players, and I was caught between two ideas of whether or not I should be pushing on or trying to do not a full DACA. I was definitely not planning to do a full DACA, but something just a little bit slower than just scoring in a couple of turns. And, you know, it's not like I can just decide to score in 2 turns anyway. Like, if you go into the teeth of that defence, you can lose the ball real easily. Because they've got the break tackle, they've got all that tackle. There's not like an easy 2-turn that was available. But I think I need to watch that back and have a think about what I could have done differently, because I think that my offense was definitely missed. Mad Dad, you're way too generous. Mad Dad, who dropped 5 gift subs at the end of the game, and now another one for Justicium. That's super kind of you. Guys, I have no idea. Like, this has got to be the most people who've ever been in this channel. When I finished the game, there was like 200. Thank you all so much for watching it. I'm sorry for all the times I did things that made you angry and tearing your hair out, because I don't doubt there were some. Looking forward to watching it back and seeing what PC and Giraffe and everyone else had to say along the way. But yeah, I think for me the thing I really regret that's clear in my head is the surf. I should have taken the surf, and I wimped out, which is a shame, because that could have been interesting if that had worked out. Getting rid of a bull centaur really does do a lot of, really changes things for Chaos Dwarves. And Justicium, I don't know if you're still in chat. I was surprised that you put that bull centaur in that spot. I thought you were pretty brave putting it somewhere I could surf it. And then I don't know why I let you off the hook. I can tell you why I thought it in the moment, which is that I just had like 10 seconds of panic and about losing the middle of the field too much, like bringing too much over and getting stuck. But I knew even as I moved away from it, I like had, my brain was screaming like, what are you doing? And you know, like that's why we play the games, and that's why experienced coaches make the better decisions under time pressure, because I think I did do a little bit of a time panic as well. You know, I'm used to 2-minute turns from CCL, but most games in CCL aren't played at this level of intensity, this level of quality of opponent. And yeah, I probably one of a few turns, I think, where if I had maybe had 4 minutes, which I'm not asking for 4 minutes, I don't think that's what I should be saying at all, but I'm just saying I think if I'd really sort of stopped, I would have calmed myself down and made a different choice, which is a shame. But you, honestly, you played so well, and it was such a pleasure to play against you. I really enjoy these chances to play great coaches, and yeah, maybe we'll get another chance later in the tournament, who knows. I hope I haven't put Team England in too much of a tight spot for the rest of the round now. Hopefully the rest of the crew can pull it out and get the win. I don't know where to go from here, really. I think we probably should raid onto someone. I feel like any other game we can play right now is going to be a bit of an anticlimax after that one. My CCL season is kind of done because I have a team that's in qualifying position that I don't want to play anymore, unless I need to on the final day. And I don't have anything else that's close. So yeah. The next Team England games, did we already talk about that? Did PC and Giraffe already say that? My brain's a bit go at the moment because I'm still sort of heading the game a little bit. Is anyone in chat who can say when those next games are? I think there's 2 on Wednesday, right? I think Wednesday night we've got a double header with Jimmy's game and Shawnee's game. And then Purple Chest has the last one. Shawnee never lose. Well, let's hope not. But yeah, seriously, thank you so much, Mad Dad, for the gift subs. I don't know if I missed some more subs while I was playing as well. Thank you everyone who's followed. A bunch of new followers. Thank you for everyone who raided. Looks like we got... maybe I can look on the creator dashboard quickly so I can say a proper thank you to people. Filters. So yeah, thank you to Mad Dad for the 6 gift subs in the end. Thank you to Duthan who resubscribed with Prime. Welcome to the Weirdos. Duthan, Lord Vacansani, Seabros, Santa Mexter, Alarge Thud, and Fallen Glory. It was awesome to have you all here. Just saw that Artemis also did the cast. Well, I'm certain that would have had a different tone. I'm sure that I am terrible in that version of the cast. But I'm all done. And thank you for the link to the. I don't worry. Look, Artemis is a very, 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 very good Blood Bowl coach who knows much more, I'm sure, than I do. He can be very critical, and I'm not always. I don't always find that's the best way for me to get what I need to in terms of getting better, is to be that to pick up everything, but also sometimes he's given me some really good advice. So there's definitely 2 sides to that, and he definitely knows his stuff, and I'm not telling anyone not to go and listen to what he has to say, because I'm sure he's right about a lot of it. I am going to send you on somewhere. Could send you on to Artemis. Could send you on to Jimmy, my Team England teammate, who's doing something that is not Blood Bowl. I'm going to send you on to... could also send you on to Daedal Quest. I'm going to send you on to Space. I am a... There is also Daedal. I already raided Daedal today. Daedal Quest is the loveliest, and you should all be following all of these people. But I'm going to raid Space Cadet, because we already raided Daedal once today. So let's raid Space Cadet and see him play some Blood Bowl. Thanks everyone for hanging out and for watching the games. Sorry, Team England, I couldn't get this one. We'll get the next one, hopefully, and I will not pass up 2-player serfs next time. Oh, it's going to bug me, that one. All right, guys, thanks so much. Bye. I said bye before I hit the raid thing. Now I've got to wait a second and then hit raid. Necronome is on as well. I don't know how I missed that. Alright, gang. See you later. Bye.
A home PC.